So once you've got all your sales invoices raised, you've got your bank feed connected, and you've uploaded all your purchases and your expenses to HubDoc and pushed them through to Xero, you'll need to reconcile your bank. So on the dashboard screen, you should see your bank account in this corner here. Click on reconcile however many items, and you will get through to the bank reconciliation screen. Now, if you've got no clue what bank reconciliation means, do not worry, that is definitely an accounting term. Basically, it's just a screen that allows you to record all your income and expenses and make sure it actually agrees to what's gone through the bank. So, at the left-hand side, you will see your bank transactions. Now, these are just in lines. It's quite easy to kind of see each transaction as it is, and there's a column for any money that's been spent and any money that's been received. At the right-hand side is how you actually action that transaction. So whether it's matching it off against an invoice you've already posted, or marking an invoice as being paid from a customer, or recording a transaction there and then. So what we can see here is this money has came in from Ridgeway University, and I can click more details if I want to have a look at any more fields that might not be showing. There's already a sales invoice in this Xero account for $618,750. So Xero's turned green and said, you've received this payment, is that for that invoice? And if it is, just go ahead and click OK. That invoice will then get marked as paid, and you don't need to chase for that payment anymore. This transaction at the top here doesn't have anything being matched to it. Xero can't find anything that relates to, so you're probably going to have to create a transaction for this. So this is really only things like bank fees where you wouldn't get a receipt normally, or bank transfers from one bank to another. So if it is just a bank fee, you could start typing in your bank, type in bank fees, pop in bank fee. I would recommend here, although we've got a list of properties, I would also recommend having a general or overhead or just some sort of general column, a general category. So if you've got any general business related expenses that don't relate to one specific property, you can put them there. So I don't have it here just now, but I would probably recommend you do. So you would select your category and then you click OK. But if that's a transaction that you're going to see every month and it's always going to be the same thing, it's not going to change, it's always going to be bank fees, you can set up a bank rule. So where it says options, select create bank rule. This screen might look slightly different for you. Xero seems to be releasing a new version of this screen, but basically you just need to follow the steps. So we're saying anytime the bank has a transaction that has this information here, go on and do X, Y, and Z with it. So for this one, we'll maybe just delete all these and just say if it equals smart agency, we're wanting you to post it to the bank fees. So we'll say, imagine this was Starling. So contact is Starling. We're going to ignore this step 3 and we're going to go straight to step 4. We're going to say bank fees, and then here you would select your general code, but we don't have one just now. We can actually create a new tracking code in this option. So I'll click there and I'm going to create general. So now general is an option when I click this property dropdown. So I want to allocate 100% of that cost, no matter what it ends up being each time. I want to post that to bank fees with the description bank fees. Down here you can say which bank accounts you want it to apply to. I'd probably suggest just all bank accounts for this sort of one, but sometimes you do have to be quite specific. And down here it's going to automatically default to a set description. You can change this. What I would recommend putting in is something like Starling and then bank fees. It lets you know what contact it's meant to be for and also where it's going to go in your accounts. Click save, and then anytime a transaction meets that criteria, Xero is going to try and apply that rule. So here we go. So instead of having to fill in all these boxes every time, now I just need to click OK. So the only other thing that you really need to know here is transfers. So if this, for example, was a transfer from one bank to another, click on transfer and select which bank account this came from and click OK. And that will record a transfer from one bank to the other within Xero. It doesn't touch the actual bank. It doesn't actually make a transaction. It just records it within Xero.